雅媚won her battle against blood cancer after receiving a merit donation from a university assistant professor. Take a look at the Fortune Recycling Point, which is located near the Shipai MRT station in Taipei City. Selamat datang ke DaAi Headlines, saya Simon Gan. Terima kasih menyertai sesi berita kita. 52-year-old雅媚was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia 7 years ago. She has 6 older brothers who tried to donate their stem cells, but the results were not good. She was hospitalized for 10 months before finding a match who is a sports-loving university assistant professor. Let's take a look at her story.
In this noisy steel factory is 52-year-old雅媚. She fell ill at work 7 years ago.
When I visited the factory, the employee said, "Boss, you look yellow." And I went to the emergency room and the doctor said that I should make the hospital my home. I didn't know what he was saying, but I later learned that he meant that I would have to be hospitalized for a long time.
She suffered from acute lymphocytic leukemia and received 7 chemotherapy sessions within 10 months.
In the hospital, because there was only a small window when I was doing the transplant, I could only see a little sunshine outside. I told myself every day that I must go out to get some sunshine.
In addition to being full of righteous thoughts, the 6 siblings who enjoy a very good relationship take turns in the hospital caring for her.
Basically, all we have to do is buy food and sleep with her. I didn't sleep with her because I snore too loud and she wouldn't be able to sleep.
When taking over of her, we tried to chat with her to relieve her emotions.
Mom and Dad didn't get much of an education. My mother isn't educated, but she gave me a lot of love, so we like to take care of each other.
When I was sick, I found many good people were helping me.
Brotherly love gave雅媚courage, but her sisters and brothers failed to be a proper match.
I want to say that we should have a very close chance of matching by ourselves, but every time we tried it was less than half, and then one of us was a little more. She tried to comfort us. I also asked her, "Why are you so positive?"
God helps those who help themselves, as雅媚would soon find the greatest person in her life.
My personal interest was previously running full marathons.
He is usually busy looking after children, but he occasionally sees a blood donation vehicle and will go there. I frequently say, "Oh, you donated blood again."
Mengjin, who is passionate about sports, is an assistant professor in the university. When he was young, he registered in a stem cell drive with more than a dozen friends and was called upon twice.
Later, when I was studying for a master's degree, they informed me that there was a match, but eventually the chance of making a donation wasn't high, so I didn't have to make the donation at the time. Then, when I worked at Academia Sinica, I was also matched.
The transplant went smoothly and she regained her health, but unfortunately her husband, who accompanied her all the way, died of cancer. Though she has suffered various shocks, she believes that she has been completely reborn.
It means one has to live in the moment and encounter difficulties and solve them. We should face challenges and then let them go.
I think what my husband did is very good, and I also hope that the recipient will have the courage to learn that regardless of the problem in life, we should face it bravely.
Sharing the same blood, their 2 personalities also begin to coincide, and after rebirth,雅媚will be like a new bud turning towards the sun.
Typhoon Goni hit the Philippines severely, affecting tens of thousands of families. Therefore, volunteers around the world have launched fundraising campaigns. Staffs and volunteers from Tzu Chi Selangor and Kuala Lumpur Chapter, and also Tzu Chi Johor Bahru branch, have all given their love.
In the face of an epidemic, the Filipino people must also face natural disasters. So think about us. Malaysia is really fortunate. In addition to donating money, we will pray for them.
The volcanic mud flowed down and submerged more than 300 houses. It was so horrible that the roofs could not be seen. The master also told us that this is karma, and the strongest thing in the world is karma. We really have to be cautious and pious. We who are peaceful must help those who are unsafe.
我想说回去后我也
I'll invite my family to donate their love for international disaster relief and help those affected by the disaster.
有福的人献出一份力量。
Blessed people should give their strength. So next, we will devoutly pray for all people in the Philippines and the world affected by the pandemic.
During the pandemic, Tzu Chi Philippines Chapter has hosted aid distribution for jeepney drivers for 3 consecutive months since August this year. Chi volunteers visited their families one by one to convey their best wishes. At the same time, they delivered rice and other supplies to the families.
In the past 3 months, Tzu Chi's aid distribution in Manila involved many volunteers and 80 Tzu Chi employees in the Philippines chapter. To avoid cross-infection, after undergoing COVID-19 screening in August and proven to be negative, they didn't return home as everyone stayed in Tzu Chi grounds or Jinxu Hall. The feeling of missing family was conveyed by other volunteers, who paid home visits one by one and delivered 50 kilograms of rice, as well as other supplies the same as the jeepney drivers received. At lunchtime, the TV showed the scene of Tzu Chi volunteers sending supplies to their families, and many employees instantly burst into tears.
Masaya po ako, na-surprise ako kasi hindi ko
I'm really happy to see the video, super surprised. I didn't expect that Tzu Chi brothers and sisters would visit my son.
binigyan ng isang magandang sorpresa. Nabigla din kami.
We were very surprised and didn't expect when we were helping the jeepney drivers. The Tzu Chi Foundation was also helping our family.
Ayaw namin ipaalam sa mga staff.
We kept it confidential beforehand because we wanted to give the employees a big surprise. We really appreciate their contributions. We're also grateful for their family members for allowing them to stay here without going home during the pandemic. After chatting with them, I learned that some family members are also grateful since they can still make money.
Kahit paano, mayroong kumikita sa pamilya.
Kaya napakalaking tulong po dahil sa
During the pandemic, life is really hard. My 2 children are unemployed, and I'm the only breadwinner of the whole family. This is really a great help.
Ako lang po ang tanging inaasahan nila sa bahay.
Helping others, being helped, and mutually assisting others form an invisible force that makes it no longer difficult during the pandemic.
There is a Chinese saying indicating filial piety is the most important thing among all the other kind acts in the world. In the Philippines, we meet 2 filial sons who tried their best to search for assistance just to let their mothers regain vision to see this beautiful world once again. Her vision is blurry. What she sees are only shadows of the waving hands right in front of her. Minvilus Navarro had cataracts for the past 5 years.
Galing kasi siyang probinsya.
My mother lives in the outer islands and does not want to travel all the way to Manila to receive treatment. I insisted on bringing her over here because people told me that Tzu Chi could help.
During the pandemic, Jared's income has greatly decreased. It was hard for him financially to bring his mother for the operation. However, he still insists on bringing his mother to receive her treatment as he's trying his very best to be a filial child.
Emotional lang po.
I'm very touched because my mother is able to see again.
Thank you talaga po sa...
Thank you, Tzu Chi, for helping me regain my vision. In the future, I'm able to see the faces of my grandchildren clearly.
Another filial son is Godwin Ventura, who uses a jeepney to take his mother with mobility issues to travel around and enjoy the beautiful scenery. However, his mother too has cataracts and is unable to see clearly. Tzu Chi Eye Clinic once again lent a helping hand.
Medyo maganda rin loob ko kasi gawa ng yung mga
It's like the burden on my shoulders have been relieved because my mother is able to see again. I'm really grateful towards Tzu Chi.
Nagkaroon ako ng anak na...
I'm very grateful to be able to have such a filial son. Ever since the passing of his father, he has been my only pillar of hope left.
Bye-bye. See you soon.
Filial piety is the most important thing in the world. These children have tried their best to search for help for one reason only. That is, to enable their mothers to see the world clearly again. In Taipei, near Shipai MRT station, there is a recycling point. A couple had started doing recycling in their courtyard more than 10 years ago. The space is small and there is no air conditioning. Despite the difficulties, recycling volunteers persevered in sorting recyclables here.
Looking from the window, one sees Shipai MRT station. Tzu Chi Market is on the other side. The area under the big tree is the source of purity.
I come at 8 o'clock in the morning and work until 2 in the afternoon. Then I go home and rest.
I have done Tzu Chi's work in southern Taiwan. I have been doing it for more than 10 years.
I've been attracted to Goni Yu. Yes, it has been 10 years.
Volunteers are attracted by people and also the car shed. It is the courtyard of the couple He Mingcun and Guo Liyu. This partially open airspace has become the place where recycling is done.
I hold the umbrella when it rains and when it is sunny. When it rains heavily, I have to wear the raincoat. Do you think it is hard work? It is hard work. So I named the place Fortune Recycling Point.
At the recycling point, one is surrounded by recyclables. One does not have a place to sit or air conditioning to enjoy.
We also sweat, but we feel comfortable after sweating.
It is hot at home, but coming here to work, I don't feel hot. There are so many volunteers who accompany us, it's not hot.
No, when we're moving, we don't feel hot. We need to hurry and do it.
We need to hurry and do it so the earth won't get hotter, or else the earth will get hotter.
Some volunteers suffer from illnesses, but that does not stop them.
Before I come here, I buy medicines. I need to take medicines in order to do the work. Coming here is not hard work. I feel happy volunteering here. I can meet some elderly volunteers and chat with them.
At the Fortune Recycling Point, volunteers also go out to collect recyclables. They go to nearly Tzu Chi Market, department store, and all the way to Veteran General Hospital. Zhen Meizhu and Li Liuzhi are bicycle partners. The male volunteers are the recycling truck team. They carry recyclables, turning garbage into love. He Mingcun, who has retired from a management level, goes to the market to collect recyclables.
He has been coming here every day for 10 years since I started living here.
There is no need to do it for other people to see. Just do it for ourselves.
Fortune Recycling Point was once damaged in the aftermath of Typhoon Goni. Fortunately, volunteers have persevered.
I feel very fortunate because it feels like home. It's not just a recycling station, but it feels like home. Tzu Chi Huashan Recycling Station is located in Shishi City, Fujian Province. 68-year-old recycling volunteer Hong Xiuzhen accidentally stumbled into this place and found a new direction in her life. Here's more.
The red stroller accompanies Hong Xiuzhen whenever she goes out.
I have a problem with one foot, so I push this cart. In the morning, I go to the market to carry food back, and I'll use it to carry recycling when I come back.
It's no problem to carry the stroller down the step. So when she arrives at the market, she always picks the cheapest food.
Food for a few cents is good. We enjoy it and cherish our good fortune. The remaining money can go to disaster relief.
我不要袋子。要10块钱吗？10块。啊？2
large bags of vegetables cost him $1.7 When it was informed that it was for food to be cooked at the Tzu Chi recycling station, the boss sold them half as a gift. After buying food, she will bring them to the Tzu Chi Huashan recycling station. Now she is a good chef, but in the past she wasn't so skilled, as it is a new opportunity for her to express her skills.
I used to just lie down like this all day, always watching TV. I could watch TV all day.
After her husband passed away many years ago, Hong Shu-zhen's heart disease became more and more serious. She always called her son-in-law's home in the middle of the night, and one time went to the hospital twice in 3 days.
My mother-in-law was always screaming that it hurts here and there. When we go to the hospital, we can't find a cause of the problem.
7 years ago, she accidentally heard that the Huashan recycling station had elderly people her age. Hong Shu-zhen plucked up her courage but never expected that recycling would be her new path.
Recycling is great. It's good for your health. You have good health without having to see a doctor.
Tzu Chi Foundation worked with the East Rift Valley National Scenic Area to host a Halloween event where the trick-or-treaters were protectors of the East Rift Valley through various games and educational information. There was also a zero-waste picnic and a zero-waste market. Let's take a look.
Kids big and small dress up in costumes to experience a different Halloween. The fun games help the little ones learn about marine waste and other environmental protection values and how they can do their part to help Mother Earth each day.
爱护地球。那我们可以怎么做啊？不要乱丢垃圾。要把购物袋把垃圾分类丢垃圾桶，不要丢到海里。
The East Rift Valley National Scenic Area is partnering up with Tzu Chi to promote environmental protection education at an early age.
We are
working with Tzu Chi Foundation, the Erie Lake Business Association, and other local educational groups to teach the children about the importance of protecting our planet and helping them to understand how to recycle for the planet.
Through this Halloween event, we can infuse some recycling-themed elements into it so that seeds of conservation will be planted in their hearts.
Through a zero-waste vegetarian picnic and a zero-waste market, more people are aware of the importance of being green and doing their best to protect the planet.
World-renowned special effects company Digital Domain is a pioneer in visual effects. CEO of Digital Domain thinks that there could be more use to special effects instead of using it in movies. He thinks that we should bring it to real life. The technology now has deep learning, which can calculate muscles and facial expressions. While the actor is performing, their actions are transferred to a virtual character.
These great films that I talked about, I don't think young people know it, like The Fifth Element, Titanic, Deep Impact, and Jurassic Park. These effects are from Digital Domain, and now we are at the Digital Domain Center in Taipei.
How old are you? 7, but I look a lot older.
Utilizing effects to create a virtual human, this is extraordinary technology provided by Digital Domain in the film industry. In the movie, The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, the special effects team scanned Brad Pitt's face and largely used virtual humans for performance, almost as real as the movie star himself.
After scanning Brad Pitt's face in skin detail, we scanned his muscle movement and spent a great amount of time in calculation. For example, after having a model, you will have to layer the muscles, right?
Would you be happy if they aren't free?
In the animation film Beauty and the Beast, a breakthrough made the hair look real.
Look at the beast. Every single hair looks real, and in front of the camera, every hair is moving in accordance to the laws of physics.
In order to make an animated character's hair look real, a lengthy calculation is a must. In the past, protagonists in animations don't even have hair.
We know that there are a lot of hair, and if we have to model those hair in 3D, it takes a lot of calculating power to deal with it. On the issue of calculating straight hair, we have to establish points on each hair and run gravity simulations, but curly hair is tough. We have to know the flexibility rate or the hardness of hair. Besides simulating gravity, we have to simulate force fields and to collect data from that.
On facial capture technologies, Digital Domain strives for the best. In the film The Avengers, antagonist Thanos' face is detailed as it is in correspondence with the actor himself. Millions of marks are made on the actor's face.
Special effect companies are afraid of dealing with a human face. Today, if we're doing Brad Pitt's face or Teresa Tung, a single mistake on the face will cause the audience to criticize us. They will say that they don't smile like this. Blood streams and teeth while speaking will always trigger a muscle, and how it affects facial expressions, we have a certain calculating method.
Digital Domain became the first agency for virtual humans, creating virtual idols. Like in the film Simon, a genius computer programmer created a virtual idol, as the idol herself attracted millions of fans.
If you are a legend, you have the best body shape, your age is at the peak, but there will be no problems of face without makeup, and there will be no leaving after fame.
Think about this. If we use virtual humans in racing or action movies as a stuntman, how many risks can we avoid? This is also what Digital Domain is doing. Bring movie effects to real life. In 2013, Digital Domain replicated the legend Teresa Tung as she appeared in Jay Chou's concert, satisfying the memories and needs of Asian audiences. Virtual humans not only impact the film industry, but will also change the service industry.
When one day a famous idol became a hotel front desk clerk, will you check in today to find out that Jay Chou is helping you or Jolene Tsai is the reception counter? Imagine going to an airline front desk and Brad Pitt is asking you if you would like to sit near the window or alley. Do you like this, or would you prefer a real person serving you?
This isn't just a daydream. To have movie stars serving you, it might happen in the future soon. Virtual humans reflect desires of real-world human beings. But when the lines between virtual and real blur out, will there be one day when it is impossible to tell the difference between the two?
In the US, Houston Tzu Chi volunteers carried out aid distribution for 800 families affected by the hurricanes back in August and September. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you and goodbye.